Get ready with me to go to jail. I'm kind of going like full glam because I want my mugshot to be cute. I am wondering if they're gonna make me rip out my lash extensions. I wonder if they're gonna make me rip out my hair extensions.
I have to go to prison tomorrow. My kids will be okay. Story time. One of my best friends, she was wrongfully convicted of a crime she did not commit. I'm not going to go into detail because I'm going to respect her privacy. She is one of the most amazing friends that you could ever have. So God-fearing, and she has been positive this entire time that she's been locked up. I would have went crazy. She is one of the strongest people I have ever known.
All right, y'all, so I'm walking down the street now. I'm like 5 blocks from the jail. I'm passing one of the police stations. I'm about to call y'all so we can have a little session. And yeah, come walk with me. I really don't even have any words to say. Like, I done said everything.
If we get Arthur back, we going to jail.
I'm going to jail today because this whole family court system in the United States is completely broken. My ex-husband is called the Oakland County Sheriff in Michigan on me probably about 60 times, and I have been going through this for 8 years. I've spent over $400,000. I have no money left. I have equity loans on my house. My whole retirement is gone, and he just never stops like the Energizer Bunny.
I went to jail. Story time.
Yeah.
But get them folks back their fucking furniture. Because I'm just sitting right here thinking about how I went to jail for a whole felony. Because I did not pay on the sectional from Ashley Furniture. The sectional was like $1,800. Did not pay on it. Went to jail. Was in jail for 3 days. Cold as fuck crying. Snotty nose. Like, never been in trouble. Never been in jail. Don't have a record. First time going to jail. A whole felon. A whole felon. Like, that's so ghetto. So for the last 7 years of my life, can't get an apartment in my name, can't get no good job, couldn't even drive for Uber. Girl, Uber was like, no. So it's just like, the system is so, and I was wrong. Should have gave the folks back their shit, should have paid on it, whatever the case may be. But it just seems so wrong. That shit seemed illegal. To be able to like put a felony on somebody who has never been in trouble, non-violent, just didn't pay on the sectional. Like, damn, I get y'all back y'all shit. Like, I just got my record clean 2 months ago, and I just wanna, y'all be laughing and playing with them folks. I'm telling y'all, I just do not want nobody else to experience what I experienced, cause that is crazy.
So how did she get a felony and jail time for stealing a sectional couch? It's not something that you can hide in your purse and walk out the door like nothing ever happened. Guys, I wish she told us the whole story. Also, she really needs to get her thyroid checked because that big double neck that she has is not a good sign for her health. And no, I'm not picking on her, and I'm not making fun of her either. She should be really concerned, to be honest with you.
Get ready with me to turn myself into jail. My name is Taylor and I live in the state of Maryland, and I am flying to Florida today to turn myself in for a warrant that I've had for the past 5 years. Long story short is that I lived in Florida for like a year and a half, but this was 5 years ago, and during that time I was like actively using. I didn't care about anyone but myself. When I had found out about the warrant, it was actually 2 years later, and at that point I was like still living the same lifestyle, so in my head it just wasn't worth it to like take care of then. At that point I just like had the mindset that, oh, I'm just never gonna go to the state of Florida, like Disney World I've already been. Fast forward to later that year, I get pregnant with my son, and like the warrant was always in the back of my head, but I was just like, I didn't think anything was gonna come of it. I knew I couldn't go to Florida and I couldn't leave the country, but I had a baby now, so like I was fine not doing those things because it wasn't worth it for me to go to jail. December of 2021, I have 2 kids now at this point. So I was on my way home and I ran a red light. And so next thing you know, I get pulled over. Basically, the cop comes up to my window. He's like, ma'am, you know that you have a warrant. And I was like, what? I thought you could only see that in Florida.
I went to prison for armed robbery and I never even touched the... You know how adults are always saying, choose your friends wisely? There is what is called the hand of one is the hand of all law, also known as the accomplice liability theory. And what that means is that you only have to be with the person who commits the crime to be charged with the crime itself. If you were walking around with a friend at Walmart and your friend stole a lip gloss, you didn't even notice and you didn't know she was going to steal it, but she got caught, you could be charged with shoplifting. I was locked up with a girl who had met some friends at the library at her school. She was a college student. She was talking to this new guy and it was some of his friends. He asked her if she wanted to hang out that night and she said yeah. They came to her dorm room and picked her up. On the way to wherever they were going, one of the friends was like, I need to stop at my house real quick. They pulled up, everybody got out and started walking up the drive. She was like, well, I'm just going to sit here and charge my phone. She's looking at her phone, just waiting. Turns out they were breaking and entering and they had all of a sudden, all the friends come running out of the house. They jump in and they speed off. And she was like, what's going on? And they were like, oh, nothing, ha ha ha. And they tried to play it off like they were just trying to scare her. Later that night, they're hanging out at one of their houses and the police come busting in. She's like, whoa, like what in the world? And they said they were arresting her for first-degree burglary, assault and battery, and for armed robbery. She had to plea down from that crime and she still got 10 years in prison. So yeah, choose your friends wisely.
Guys, I don't believe that story. Women love playing dumb when it's convenient. I sincerely believe that she already knew what was going on, but acted as if she had no clue. That way, she could reap all the benefits from the robbery while playing plausible deniability all along. Not only did she want her cake, she also wanted to eat it too. But sadly for her, the judge called her BS and sent her to jail for 10 years.
Hi, TikTok. I'm going to jail today. I just want to give a warning to all those women out there who are going through custody and divorces with your ex-husbands or current husbands. I just want you to know, when your kids turn 18, nothing is going to end. My children are 21 years old, and 19 years old, and my ex-husband is still lying about me and still taking me to court. I have a rotten judge who's completely biased against me, and the same thing could happen to you. I am telling you, don't get divorced. Take your kids, flee the country, go to Mexico, because this whole family court system in the United States is completely broken. My ex-husband has called the Oakland County Sheriff in Michigan on me probably about 60 times. He has said that I'm committing felonies, I'm going to blow up a building. He says I have stolen firearms in my house that I'm selling to criminals. On and on it goes. I can't even, there's so many things. When I try to think about it in the aggregate, I just get all overwhelmed. I have everything documented, all the police reports, but it never ever ends. So now I have to go spend 7 days in the Oakland County Jail because he got one of his lies to actually stick. See, it's kind of like throwing poop at the wall and seeing what's going to stick. And the same thing can happen to you. These vindictive, idiot men who are psychotic want revenge. And in my case, I believe my ex-husband wants me to unalive myself. And if I have to go to jail, so be it. I don't really care. And I'll go in there and I'll preach Jesus to the prisoners. If that's what God wants me to do, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn lemons into lemonades. So let him still keep playing his games and contacting you, Oakland County Sheriff. I really wish you would wake up and see through his lies. Don't they teach you this in part of your police training? So anyway, moms, if you're going through a contentious divorce, just know you're going to be in it for the long haul, because my kids turned 18 in 2018 and I'm still going through it. And I have been going through this for 8 years. I've spent over $400,000. I have no money left. I have equity loans on my house. My whole retirement is gone. And he just never stops like the Energizer Bunny. So off to jail I go. Everyone have a great day.
You know what, guys? She's right. The family court in the US is severely broken, but it's broken to benefit women. At least for once, a man is pulling a reverse Uno card on a woman, and he's getting away with it. That's the beautiful part. The ex-husband is waging a ruthless lawfare against the ex-wife, and he's winning it. Guys, I love this. I really do. I wish I had the ex-husband's phone number. That man is a genius. Men need to be more petty in divorce and in child custody cases. That's the only way family law will ever change in this country. Guys, let's be honest. Women will never march down the family law building and protest so that men can have a chance in divorce and in child custody. Lawmakers are not going to do a damn thing about it either. Why? Because they need women's vote. So what do men need to do? Do the very same thing that the ex-husband is doing. Yes, I agree. It might sound petty, but things have to change. To change something unusual and unfair, you have to do something unusual and unfair as well. Women make false allegations against men all the time, and they are rewarded for it. Guys, let's all start pulling a reverse Uno card on all these women. Don't you think?
I was addicted to methamphetamine for almost 20 years. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. And I also did some prison time. Let's talk about it. I caught a charge back in the day. A lot of you guys don't know that because I don't really talk about it a lot. I didn't do a lot of time behind it, but I want to share with you guys what happened and what my experience was like. So in 2008, I was riding shotgun in my own car and allowing this guy named Quincy to drive my car. Quincy and I had just got done delivering some to a friend's house, and we got everybody high and hung out for a couple hours, and then we left to go back to my friend Nate's house. Well, on the drive back, Quincy's high ass ran a stop sign. Now, up until about a year ago, I didn't realize we had ran the stop sign. I actually applied for my paperwork. FOIA requested my paperwork, and I read it, and I read what the police officer had wrote, and basically what he said was, we were driving down Woodlawn Avenue, and Quincy ran a stop sign. Then he proceeded to pull us over and call backup because he knew Quincy from past experiences arresting him other times, and he had a warrant for his arrest. So they pull us over and they get Quincy out on the ground and they're patting him down, and they get me out on the ground and they're patting me down, and I am scared because I am high as okay, I am tweaking my balls off. So they're asking me if the in my purse was mine. And so I told them no. I don't know whose meth that is. I wasn't blaming it on Quincy, but I sure as hell wasn't taking responsibility for it. I was lying my off. I don't know whose those are. I found them underneath a tree. So they ended up putting us both in the cop car and taking us in and booking us. And I remember I was like I had never been in trouble before in my life, and I just caught a felony, a Class C felony, possession of meth. So I was pants, bro. I remember I called my parents and I was like, can you bail me out of jail? And my mom and dad were like, no, we're not bailing you out. That was one of the first times my parents had ever really told me no and set some firm boundaries with me in my addiction. At that point, I had been in active addiction for about 8 years. And so it was a big deal that they were saying, no, we're not going to bail you out. Luckily for me, or I don't know how lucky it was, but luckily for me, Quincy actually had some friends that put up their Harley to get us both out. And we were out by that evening, probably like an hour or two later. And I hit the streets running right back to Nate's house, getting high. and trying to ignore the fact that I had just caught a felony charge. For the next year, I basically tried to forget the fact that I caught a felony. You know what I'm saying? I went to court. My lawyer was like, we're going to ask for 3 years probation. And that's what you'll do, because I didn't want to take prison time and I didn't want to go to court. So I ended up getting assigned the 3 years probation. Long story short of it is I failed my probation miserably. I wasn't ready to get sober. I didn't realize how I was going to have to come in every single month and test, and I could not pass those tests. So after about 10 failed tests, my probation officer sent me to treatment. I relapsed out of treatment, and then she sent me to prison.
So what should I say here? 10 words. Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. She was heading down the wrong path already. So going to jail was just the next natural step for her. She was using GRUGs. Guys, I can't say that word on YouTube. They will censor me. But you know what I'm referring to. Not only was she an addict, but she was also dealing it. So it's not a surprise that she was caught, went on probation, then failed not 1, but 10 DRUGs tests. And the judge sent her ass to jail. She was offered so many chances not to go to jail, but she blew it. Again, Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Good morning, it's 8:48 a.m. Get ready with me to go to jail because I was an idiot who did something really bad. So I have to go to jail for 2 days. I'm kind of going like full glam because I want my mugshot to be cute. But I don't have a hairbrush, so I'm like straightening my hair without any brush, and it's rough. But anyway, I'm worried about a few things. So I already took off all my nails. My hands are disgustingly ugly. This is the first time I haven't had nails in like 6 years. I am wondering if they're gonna make me rip out my lash extensions. Okay. Also, I wonder if they're gonna make me rip out my hair extensions that are sewn in. Those are two things that I can't take out on my own. But I know they're not allowed. Well, I don't know about lashes. I don't know. Kind of worried about those. But really worried about my hair because I just paid the $400 to get the put in. And I don't want to have to do it again. So worried about that. I'll update you on that. I have to take out all my piercings and those are going to close. I got a nose piercing, some piercings, and then like my belly piercings, but my belly button piercings will stay open because I've had them for years. But I'll be back after I do like my hair and my glam. Okay, I'm ready. Obviously you guys aren't gonna get an update until I'm out of jail, but taking out my belly piercings.
Having eyelashes, hair extensions, or fake nails will be the last thing she will have to worry about when she's in jail. Now, if I was her, I would remove all that before turning myself into jail.
And neither have I. I've actually been arrested, I've been to jail, and I'm not proud of it, but I do recognize that it's part of my story. My story in being arrested and going to jail did not stop me from becoming an attorney.